TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Well, it was in Baltimore, Maryland. And Sting told me, hey, Eric's in the room and they want to talk to us. I said, okay. So it was Sting and Eric and myself and my brother. They brought us to the room and they talked out a scenario they wanted to do. And asked us if it was time. And brother, it was getting to that point. We needed to do something.
Right.
You know, matches with the Harlem Heat were the shits. You know, Stevie Ray's a great guy, but he can't work for yet. Booker, you know, he's all right. But it was getting to the point there was no more teams, you know, that were over anymore. And we had to do something. And so we made that choice there in Baltimore. And then we went out to L.A. We were doing something. Anyway, we went out to L.A. That's where my brother cut his hair and blonded it. Came in, nobody recognized him. It was kind of funny, but yeah, it was time.
Did you think your brother was going to be as big as he got?
Well, I had no idea. I know he changed his look, and I think that was all good. I think we both had the same amount of chances of doing, you know, getting to where he got. The only thing that I have a problem with is the other piece of shit that came in from New York.
Russo.
I think when Russo came in, and this is where my brother and I have a problem. Russo was friends with Jarrett.
Right.
Jarrett's good friends with my brother because they're all buddies. Now, my brother and I are a year apart, age. So they singled all of us other guys out as being the old guys, you know, being done. And that's when Russo gave my brother free reign to do whatever, and Jarrett free reign to do whatever, and brought these other guys in to do free reign to do whatever. And my brother didn't stick up. My brother didn't say anything. Hey, let's do something with my brother. Or, hey, you know, let's include my brother. He's only a year behind me. You know,
right.
But there's, you know, he could have said something. He didn't. So my brother, I have a problem with my brother. I've told him about it several times because I saved my brother's ass about 4 times. Bischoff wanted to fire him when he got in the front page. They wanted to fire him when he did the thing with Flair. And,
right, the promo.
Yeah, the promo. They wanted him gone. And at that time, I built up a relationship with Eric where we got to be good friends. And he called me out and said, man, they want your brother's released now. He said, I'm doing everything. What do you think I should do? I said, well, he can do something good for the business. I said, you know, it was all the time out. Well, he's your brother. I'll help him, you know. And I helped him out 4 times. And then when it come time, my brother switched around. He never said anything to Russo. He said he thought it was better for me to stay home. But while he was collecting all these big royalty checks and stuff, I'm saying, I'm getting nothing, you know.
Right.
Just getting my pay. I think something could have been said and been done different. And I really hate, I don't have anything good to say about Russo. I think my true feelings, I think he was a plant from Vince to come down and just destroy the whole thing.
A lot of people said that.
You know, I don't think he had one good idea. He didn't have one good idea that I've seen. And I think he's the biggest piece of cancer the business has ever been around. There's been some guys that come in, you know, like Dusty Rhodes. Not Dusty Rhodes ain't cancer or anything, but, you know, a lot of guys had different ideas and different ways of doing stuff. But they used everybody. If I may hate your guts, but if you can make money for it, even Vern Gagne, if he didn't like you, but if you can make money, he used it.
Right.
And I think Vince Russo didn't give a shit. He had his guys. He was going to use them no matter what, shove them down your throat. And I think he was the beginning of the end.
As far as you and your brother, do you think the feud between you guys was abandoned too soon?
Well,
or do you think it ran its course?
Yeah, it ran its course. I mean, once we did that thing there, and then we went hot with it, and nobody had any ideas. And my brother and I were in Bagwell, were coming up with all those each week, those matches we were doing,
right.
You know? And it was like they weren't really going to do anything. So it was like, if we ain't going to do anything, it means let's get done with it.
Right.
So.
TitleMatchNetwork.com